First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. Why the say Terrence Crawford should fight Benavidez? That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You're next in line. He's next in line.
Is there like a
the last question, guys?
Is there like a love-hate like fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad.
You're good, man.
And he cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
The thing with Floyd is, he doesn't want anyone to outshine him. It's like when he suggested Terrence Crawford should fight someone else, it doesn't really make sense. He just doesn't want anyone doing better than him. But, honestly, I respect him as a fighter. I wouldn't call him a bad person, but he definitely has his flaws. He's great in the ring, no doubt, but sometimes he can be a bit too focused on himself. Gervonta Davis' split from Mayweather Promotions was full of drama. His decision to leave wasn't smooth and sparked a lot of controversy.
Gervonta said, "I'm not signed to a single soul." So is Tank now a free agent, or is he still signed with Mayweather Promotions?
Well, this is the Mayweather Deji press conference. So I'm here to talk about Dubai. I'm here to talk about entertaining the people, having fun, and I'm not here to talk disrespectful or bad about any fighter. You know, they say America is the land of the free. You know, so we live, we love, and we keep striving each and every day. That's what life is about.
Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather have had their share of public disputes, which really highlighted the complicated nature of their professional relationship. Both had very different ideas about how Davis's career should be managed. The drama surrounding their fallout drew attention to the power dynamics in boxing promotions and the tough decisions athletes face when choosing between independence and the backing of well-established figures in the sport. Davis recently said, "I'm not signed to a single soul." So, does this mean Tank is now a free agent, or is he still under Mayweather Promotions? Well, during the Mayweather Deji press conference, Tank made it clear he was there to talk about the event, the fun of Dubai, and entertaining the fans, not to trash talk or disrespect any fighter. He reminded everyone that America is the land of the free, and that's how he sees life, living, loving, and striving every day.
Commend Tank on saying, "Hey, this is my career, you had yours. I respect you from buying me a chain, buying me this, buying me that, take me on a jet." All that's great, but at the end of the day, I'm only going by his interview. You seen it and I seen it. Thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for all the things you gave me. If the intentions was you just looking out for me. But I got an opportunity to fight this big fight. And this soap opera between you and Oscar for all these years, I'm not going to let it affect me. That's my interpretation. And Tank wants to do the fight, but he had to break away from the chains of somebody he still respects and respected then. And he said, "Man, I got to do what I got to do. This is my career."
Bernard Hopkins, a boxing legend, weighed in on Tank's situation, sharing his belief that Davis needed to break free from the influence and control of Floyd Mayweather Promotions. Hopkins argued that the control Mayweather had over Davis held him back, and by leaving, Tank now had the freedom to make decisions on his own terms, like whether or not to take a rematch with Lamont Roach. Hopkins believes this freedom will help Davis flourish, making choices based on his own desires rather than the pressures from others.
I don't know what the just happened. You're a referee. You should have seen what's going on. Why I would, if I'm in the corner, I'm erratic in between rounds. What was your feeling in between rounds when you seen that?
We was going off. My assistant coach, Ben Johnson, he was going off on him. Like, "Hey, Steve, the wrong with you?" He was cursing him out and everything. He was like, "That was a knockdown."
Yeah,
he just stood off and waved us off, and he was like,
"Yeah, because for me, one person would have been having to deal with Lamont, and the other would have been the whole 60 seconds.
That's how it was. I was dealing with him, and my man Ben was dealing with the rough.
Right.
We got his attention along with the low blows as well. I was like, I mean, blows you gonna let him hit us with before you take a point? And then he finally won him like in the 11th round.
That's crazy. Is there anybody in boxing media or media in general, because nobody picked you guys to win at all? Nobody. I mean, I seen you guys go on promotional tours from whether it was boxing podcast to the Breakfast Club. Nobody picked you guys to win. Like, when you get a second, you grab me a water. Sorry. And is there anybody that you got, I know because it's more than one person, but is there anybody, thank you, that you took personal out of all the interviews that you did? Is it one or two people or three people that you be like, this right here, anybody else, but I want to prove this one person wrong?
It's not necessarily that I wanted to prove them wrong, so I wanted everybody to shut the fuck up, for real.
Yeah.
Like, but I already said it.
I really respect what Tank said, too. This is my career, you had yours, and I respect you for buying me a chain, buying me this, taking me on jets. He's making it clear that while he appreciates the past, he's ready to take control of his future.
We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Rose gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against a Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at that like, I don't want to braid my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Not everything was great, but at the end of the day, I'm just going off what I saw in his interview. You saw it, and I saw it too. I want to thank Floyd Mayweather for everything he did for me. If his intentions were to look out for me, I appreciate it. But now, I have a chance to fight in a big match, and I'm not going to let all the drama between him and Oscar affect me. That's just how I see it. Tank wants the fight, but to do that, he had to step away from someone he still respects. He said, I got to do what I got to do. This is my career.
Lamont Roach, first of all, you're surprised that everybody's wanting to see a rematch between these two because no one expected it to be a close fight in the first place.
That much is true. And me, myself, I mean, I'm a big Tank fan. And I was shocked. at the outcome of the fight.
Who did you have winning the fight?
I had Roach winning the fight.
Do you consider robbery, or do you lean Roach and are cool with the draw?
I wouldn't say it was a robbery. I mean, the fight was close. But if I was a judge, I would have gave Roach the fight.
All right. Well, talking about this rematch, so the one thing Tank always had for him, everyone, he had that kind of almost like Mike Tyson-esque, right? The air of invincibility, the knockout power. People were scared of him, that kind of thing. Do you think what Roach did to him, moving up in weight, and not being a big puncher himself, but able to withstand Tank, that kind of his air of invincibility has maybe been slightly diminished?
I won't say it's been diminished, but I do think that more fighters that probably were afraid of him are not going to be afraid of him anymore.
And do you think that's almost something that could play in Tank's hand, right? Maybe we had an off day, everybody has an off day, and take him.
Yeah, everybody can have off night, but I think the one thing that is the most important thing that nobody's talking about is the fact that
The first fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach was full of controversy, especially around the officiating. Referee Steve Willis faced heavy criticism for not awarding points to Roach during key moments of the fight. Many felt the referee's decisions unfairly affected the outcome, leading to the fight ending in a disputed draw. In response to the growing criticism, Davis challenged his detractors, suggesting they could settle it in a rematch. He made it clear he was ready to prove himself again and shut down any doubts about his abilities as a fighter.
The good rumor is that Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach are going to be rematching possibly June 21st in Las Vegas. I don't know if Vegas just wanted to fight off the publicity, especially with Turkey taking a lot of fights over to Riyadh, or they didn't want to return back to New York State Athletic Commission after they did Lamont Roach dirty. But Lamont said the terms are already agreed on for a rematch. He just had to sign it, so it seemed like it's going to be this Vegas summer blockbuster. It's probably going to be the biggest fight of the year as far as in the United States. So it'll be interesting. Nevada State Athletic Commission don't play, but we'll see how it go. Let me know what y'all.
The controversy surrounding the first fight created a perfect setup for a rematch, one that Davis was more than willing to accept in order to prove his dominance.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style, with Tank style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from both in a rematch?
I think I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm gonna keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
How did you see Tank in that fight? A lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you see?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he going through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's gonna be the same fighter throughout his career. So.